Hello and welcome to Pens, Paint and Whiskers. Today, part 3 of repainting this mer-dragon creature. Now, so I have chosen Elements watercolour metallics, so I'm just going to show them off. Lovely set of paints. Obviously the black is a favourite of mine, second is a nice mauve. This metallic green is the colour I hope to put on his body. Now he looks a bit strange currently because what I did to separate him from his background, I went over him in some sort of sage green markers. I'm hoping it goes with the watercolours. If not, that's okay, we'll just figure out another way around it. But I do like to sort of add guidelines of where I'm going to be painting him, and the watercolour background, it kind of made him lost in a previous video of mine. So this watercolour background, it does tend to seep a little bit and seep into the subject of the painting. So sometimes in between layers of watercolour and the background and the main subject, I like to ink him in or draw him in again. The paintbrushes I'm mainly going to be using are Windsor and Newton, so these are probably my favourite of my brush collection. And a little one, I'm not sure where this was from, but good enough. And a Create, so they're all mainly size 10 and 6, and I don't pay too much attention to brush sizes. It's really the bristles are how it feels really. And I have with me my little water pot, and I have my cloths. So what more do you need? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my the biggest brush here first, and I'm just going to throw down this lovely metallic green here, and just see how we go. So I might do his head study first in the lightest green. What I'm doing is basically the biggest area, so the biggest brush, this one, for the biggest area, and just wetting it and throwing down the colour, so it doesn't sound or probably look too careful, and really it's not. I find sometimes the best techniques in painting is really to not be too precious about it, and just throw down the pigment, throw down the colour, and from there you can hopefully work up some details and some light and shadow, and go over it again with other mediums or other smaller brushes and different colours. That's my technique anyway. It wouldn't necessarily be anyone else's, but that's okay, it works for me. So that's just how I found working in watercolours and wet mediums like so. And sometimes gouache and acrylics too. I have been watercolouring for years. I won't say a decade, but I won't say a centenary either, but a long time in the business. I'm not a professional artist. I don't sell my work, but that doesn't mean I haven't seek to learn everything about the medium as I possibly can. And what doesn't work for me might work for some, and vice versa. It's all a mindset too in art. It's a journey of discovery. So I've been hoping that the little guide of green markers I put on him would not sort of show through, and I'm glad to say they don't seem to be. Now, that being said, his horns, I have sort of etched them in a brown. So, and I don't have a great brown watercolour, so I'm going to have to rethink those too. I might do an underpainting, I might see how that goes, but right now I'm just worrying about his painting him in. And I might go with his body then once he's blocked in and let that dry, and then work up the tones for his head study, and then go back to his body. So it's mainly a watercolour it's like a balancing act. You have to sort of paint a bit here and let that dry, and paint another bit and let it dry, and then work up shades and tones, and hopefully it all turns out right in the end, and usually it does. So and you can probably see for the first section of drawing, well, blocking in the colour, I move relatively quick. So yeah, and I'm not too careful about his colouring and how it works out. Just so long as we get a base colour, or a kind of a flatter kind of base underneath, and then we can go over him and add in shadow. I should say this paper is a Ohuhu A4 Sketchbook marker pad. I think it's 250 GSM, I think, and it takes wet mediums very well. I mean, I'm not using watercolour paper. I have watercolour paper, I just haven't got around to unwrapping it and using it. So the watercolour paper, I'd imagine, would take this even better again. But so far, this paper is taking it very well, so why not? So his tail now, this is not drying out on me, but his tail is the biggest part over his head, so it's going to take quite a lot of even watercolour tones, and that's what I say about balance. It's trying to get it all even before it dries, because if a layer dries, it can suddenly end up lighter than the paint you're going over currently. So that's always a thing to remember with watercolour, is it'll dry lighter. Another reason why sometimes I work with black, but not really. It tends to dry into a charcoal. I'd only use it if I want to hint at sort of charcoal shadows, not necessarily because I want a watercolour black. This paint, the Elements metallic, I've had these for a little while, maybe a year or two, and so far I really do like them. I use them exclusively for fantasy subjects, for obvious reasons. They're quite glittery. So once he's dry, I'll take him up and I'll show a little bit. So it is quite a bright day, but hopefully he'll catch the light and he'll really sparkle, because these paints, they're a budgetary metallic watercolour. I just choose them not knowing anything about them, because they had the biggest range in colours that I had spotted and I had seen and was happy with, so I took a chance on them, and they paid off. I'm not sure how much they cost me, but I don't think it was dear, maybe 20 at the most. And I'm really sorry, but I don't know where I got them. I think I ordered them online. I definitely don't think I bought them in person. I've seen other brands like Windsor and Newton do a metallic. I've never tried it, so I don't know what they're like, but I'd be willing to try it. Maybe in future I might get iridescent watercolour from them. But yeah, this is really, really nice. Budgetary metallics. I simply choose them because, well, they offered a good range of colours. So you can kind of see there he's catching the light, so he is really, really shiny. That is a good result for a budgetary metallic watercolour. So he's going to dry off a little bit, and trying not to smudge his body. I'm going to take the second biggest brush, so this is my Create size 10 as well. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to go back over his head and shoulders and hopefully work up some contrast, some shadows. So you can see he is taking shape. We got a little bit of smudge over his eye, but that's okay. We can hopefully try and work in or hint in his cheeks. And so details will be lost. So he's got, I might move my palette over here underneath, yeah. So at the start of this drawing him, I did hint in pencil. He's got sort of spiny brow ridges like a dragon, and they disappear under watercolour, as is the nature of the beast, so to speak. So you got to be used to that, and don't freak out when all your lovely details just keep disappearing. Sometimes you can kind of see them underneath and hopefully cover them with paint, but sometimes not. So I'm just hinting in a guide of where I want shadow, where I want his even his hair to be. So hair does have a certain amount of shadow to it, or locks, so to speak. I don't know what I'm going to do with his horns, but we'll see how that goes. I might do a copper or an underpainting of brown, and I might not necessarily do it in this video at all. I might sort the problem out off screen, and we'll put some shadow on his neck and underneath. And he's got a little bit of shadow here at his shoulders. So yeah, so this is just the shortest sort of technique here. It's just a guide of shadows, really. That's really what it is. And I'll go over it with a very small, my smallest brush here of the day. I have much smaller brushes, but I don't think they warrant it yet. So sometimes halfway through the process, as you can probably see if he's not blinding us with his glitter, what happens is, yeah, he kind of looks a little bit messy, so to speak, but hopefully now with lighter, smaller, finer details penciled in or even painted in, or inked in even, hopefully he won't look like a big messy shiny lump as he does now. Yeah, so we'll give him a chance, and hopefully I'll give myself a chance. It's the first watercolour I've done for anything other than my own pleasure, but the first watercolour I've demonstrated on a video, so we'll see how he goes. Also, you may have noticed his eye is currently painted. Currently painted in acrylic. Excuse me, I just need some water. Yeah, currently painted in acrylic or water, I think, watercolours, no, acrylic, I think. Now, so his smallest colour, smallest paintbrush, this little roundy lad here, I'm not sure where I got that one from, but I think it was a paint set from a budget shop, and as you can see, it does flick out a little bit. Sometimes I like to trim them, but I haven't given this one a haircut yet, but I might. The bristles in them are quite, they're synthetic, but I would choose them. It does the job. Sometimes the most budgetary art materials can be the best, other times not, but yeah, sometimes you don't necessarily need the highest quality in brushes to achieve a decent result. So with this narrower brush, I'm hopefully able to paint in his nose and around his lip, and we might try a darker green for his cheeks, because as you can probably see, he's lost a little bit of definition, unfortunately, but we'll hopefully get it back. Yeah, so I'm going to try there's a hooker's green here, it's called. So I'm going to try some of that. I have tried it off camera, but no, never on camera, so he's got slight shadow. And I'm not too worried already, even though I am. You can kind of hint in his nostril and his hair, so you can see it gives quite a black quality sometimes. It wouldn't be my favourite green necessarily, but for him it might work. I mean, read that as I hope it will work. And what I'll do is I'll do a wash again with metallics. So his ordinary metallic green. And there's some metallic white here I might try actually too. Yeah, so he's got quite a ridge here. And I might do a very final one where in between these layers, when he's dry, to my satisfaction, I might do his horns and some scales in gouache. So I will hopefully get to demonstrate gouache over all these lovely metallics. Yeah, so kind of has worked. Yeah, sort of, I'm still in keeping with the tone of green on him. So as you can see, he might be better lying flat. He sparkles a lot, so we might turn him slightly towards the shadows and do under his jaw. So and his chin. So I'm not too worried about lacking in details or him looking a little bit messy right now with watercolour. They can be quite tricky and can be quite a medium that demands quite a lot of patience. Waiting in between layers is always a challenge for me anyway. But I've sort of learned that at the end he'll dry out and he'll be a nice colour that I didn't intend sometimes, or maybe not. And that's the surprise. And it's like life, you never know. And we can hopefully try and either go over him or not, and that's okay too. So it just requires a little bit of patience, does watercolour. We might give him an ear canal and more of a jaw here. And I might see, can I get some white going? Maybe, maybe not. And we'll put in slight shadow up over. Oh, that went a little bit much because the light source up here. So we can hopefully correct that. So in between filming, I will go over him with again and again, maybe even 4 times. Watercolour is going to be your most time consuming medium. That's not necessarily a warning, it's just an observation that it is your most time consuming medium. As I mentioned, yeah, I might go over him and let him dry, go over him, let him dry, go over, let him dry, and maybe about 4 times, and each time getting more and more detailed with layers in between filming. And then hopefully by the end he'll be ready to ink up details and paint in some of those glorious spines he has. Yeah, so let's see, we'll give him more shadow there. And what I might do is I might actually try, so I'll wet my brush and clean it off. And there's a lovely metallic white here, so I might just try that if his cheek has dried a little bit. So he is quite shiny anyway, so it might be hard to highlight in the white. If that fails, I will go over him in a gel pen. I might actually do that on camera, pick out his highlights along with his lovely spines again. And yeah, so it's slightly coming through. So the white metallic, now it is a beautiful white, and it does indeed have a very shiny sort of quality to it, almost misty or ghostly even. I'm trying to be careful in that the light source is up here, so more metallic white goes on his forehead and cheek rather than his chin. But that doesn't say that his chin can't be highlighted too, or his jawline even. He has a sharp jawline, and I might do some metallic on his hair here, so he's catching the light again. Now, so the horns I will worry about in another video. And in between videos, I'm going to do this about maybe 4 times or 3 times, depending on each layer and if I'm happy with it, and if I'm concentrating and paying attention to details and not under time constraints. So we'll do a little bit on his nose, tiny little bit of highlights, and more on his cheek, and a little bit on his lip. And so his head study is indeed taking shape. So I will work up this another few times, and when I'm happy I will come back and I'll do his horns and his spines, and I might ink him in on video. So thank you for listening and watching, and come back and see how he finally develops. Bye guys.